between two ancient mountain ranges, where the wind whispered old legends and the nights were filled with stars, stood a small village called Al. The village was quiet, peaceful, and surrounded by forests, cliffs, and winding paths that few dared to explore. In this village lived 3 girls who were known for their curiosity and courage. Salma, the oldest, was thoughtful and observant. She loved books, maps, and old stories told by the elders. Lama was clever and quick-witted, always finding solutions when others fell lost. Noor, the youngest, had a brave heart and a wild imagination. She believed that every legend held a grain of truth. The 3 girls had been friends since childhood. While others preferred comfort and routine, they dreamed of adventures beyond the village. Often, they sat together near the old well, listening to travelers talk about forgotten ruins, hidden caves, and secrets buried by time. One story, however, returned again and again: the story of the secret cave. According to legend, high in the mountains lay a cave sealed by stone and silence. Inside it was said to rest the knowledge of an ancient civilization, a people who valued wisdom over wealth. The cave could only be opened by a special key. Many had searched for it. None had returned with answers. Some villagers believed the cave was cursed. Others said it protected something too powerful for greedy hands. The girls listened carefully every time the story was told, and deep inside, they felt that one day they would find the truth. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low and painted the mountains gold, Salma decided to explore a rocky path near the forest. Lama and Noor followed her. While walking, Salma noticed something unusual between 2 stones, something that shimmered faintly. She reached down and pulled it free. It was an old metal key. The key was heavy, cold to the touch, and carved with strange symbols none of them had seen before. "This is no ordinary key," Lama whispered. Noor's eyes widened. "What if this is the key?" The air felt different, as if the mountains themselves were watching. Without speaking another word, the girls knew their lives had just changed. That night, the girls met in Salma's house. She brought out old books. Her grandfather had collected books filled with faded drawings, maps, and forgotten languages. They searched page after page until Lama suddenly stopped. "There," she said, pointing. A drawing showed a stone door hidden in the mountains, and next to it, a key identical to the one they had found. The text beneath read, "Only those who seek knowledge, not gold, may enter." The girls looked at one another, hearts pounding. The legend was real, and the key had chosen them. At dawn, before the village awakened, the 3 girls packed food, water, lanterns, and the old mat from the book. The path through the mountains was steep and narrow. The forest grew darker as they climbed higher, and the wind carried strange echoes. Fear tried to creep into their minds, but they kept walking, step by step, hour after hour, because courage is not the absence of fear but the decision to move forward despite it. By midday, they reached a cliff covered in vines and moss. At first, it looked like nothing more than rock. Then Noor noticed something. "Look." The symbols hidden beneath the vines was a massive stone door, carved with the same markings as the key. Salma's hands trembled as she inserted the key. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ground shook. The door slowly opened with a deep, ancient sound, releasing a cold wind and a soft glow from within. The cave had awakened. The cave was vast and quiet. The walls shimmered with crystals that reflected the lantern light. They walked carefully, afraid to disturb the silence. Deeper inside, they found a large chamber. At its center stood a stone pedestal. Upon it rested a glowing golden star. Around the chamber were shelves filled with scrolls, maps, and carved tablets. "This isn't a treasure of gold," Lama said softly. "It's a treasure of knowledge," Salma replied. The star pulsed gently, as if alive. As Noor approached the pedestal, glowing symbols appeared on the wall. They formed words. "Power fades. Gold is lost. But knowledge shapes the future. Protect it. Share it wisely." The girls felt a deep sense of responsibility. They understood now. The cave was never meant to be conquered. It was meant to be guarded. Suddenly, another passage opened, revealing chests filled with jewels and gold. Noor hesitated. "What if we take just a little?" she asked. The cave grew silent. Salma shook her head. "That's not why we're here." Lama closed the chest. At that moment, the golden star glowed brighter, and the jewels turned to dust. The cave had tested them, and they had passed. The star lifted into the air and divided into 3 smaller lights, each floating toward one of the girls. A voice echoed softly, "From this day forward, you are the keepers." The lights vanished into their hearts. The stone door slowly closed behind them as they exited the cave. The mountain returned to silence. When the girls returned to the village, nothing seemed different. But they were. They shared wisdom, encouraged learning, and protected the mountain from those who sought it for greed. They never spoke of the cave. Some secrets are meant to be carried, not revealed. Years later, travelers spoke of 3 women who guided others with wisdom and courage. And sometimes, when the wind blew just right, children swore they saw a golden light shining in the mountains. The legend lived on, not as a tale of treasure, but as a story of friendship, courage, and the power of knowledge. And this was only the beginning.